Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Michigan State Spartan Athletic Insider Podcast. I am your host, Hondo Carpenter, the editor, publisher, and founder of SpartanNation.com. Remember, Michigan State Spartans on SI is your best coverage of Michigan State. This guy next to me is a Spartan through and through, a decorated journalist, now a highly successful attorney in the Atlanta Buckhead area. John, Michigan State, round one, taking on North Dakota State. A game that if they'd played this 10 times, Michigan State would have won 9, but a very aggressive team took some risks, which is what you have to do to upset a Michigan State. Michigan State thumps them by 25. The stat of the game, John, stat of the game was 26 assists on 33 baskets. I think it was the best first round game, and certainly in 28 years of Tom Izzo, possibly in Michigan State history in the tournament. Selfless, great balance, great game. Your thoughts?
It really was. This is probably, without question, I think the best game, first round game Michigan State's ever had. And it didn't start that way. To North Dakota State's credit, they came out with a little more energy, playing a little looser the first 5 minutes or so. Didn't carry over. What we saw today was a great start. This is the best game Carson Cooper has ever played at Michigan State. There's a good chance that it will always be there. What he's got to do relatively quickly is tell himself, in reality, it's probably not going to be that easy again. In fact, I expect the next game to be more difficult. It's going to feel much more difficult for him than probably it ever will. Reminds me of what Earl Woods told Tiger before his final round when he won that first Masters by a record total. Cam Ward and Jordan Scott are reshaping Michigan State's presence in the DMV area. It's not that Michigan State wasn't around the DMV. There's more folks than me that came out from that region to Michigan State. It's just that these two guys are freshmen right now. These two guys played against each other last year in basically a feature showcase for a while. These are the two kids, best kids in our area, and they're going to Michigan State. Michigan State is on the map again in the DMV in a big way. And I mention that because Cam Ward, to me, the first game I saw him this year, he looked like a guy ready to play the NCAA tournament right now. He was ready for it now. And what we saw in his first game was some poise and a whole lot of juice. And also Jeremy Fears was good. And let's be honest, he's got to be really good for them to get where they want to be. I think where they want to be without any question. They want to get back to playing for a chance to make the Final Four. They let that Auburn game get away from them last year a little bit early. I was there covering for Spartan Nation. It hurt. So in a way, it feels like this first game, they picked up right where they left off at the end of the Auburn game in many ways, trying to get back to the Final Four.
Big shout out to Jacob Konsanika, our beat writer who's in Buffalo. John, let's go a little bit of a different direction. Izzo played 12 guys, 8 of them significant minutes. 4 of them picked up minor minutes at the end, but 12 guys got to play. For Izzo to be able to play 8 guys, he likes to shorten his bench in March. For 8 guys to get significant minutes, I think that is a huge deal that sets them up nicely heading into facing Louisville on Saturday.
It does. It does. They're going to need legs. They're going to need sharp. They're going to need as sharp a focus and sharp a performance as they can to beat a Louisville team. And it does. What stands out to me is the continued development of Kurt Tang. We are watching a guy develop in real time, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun watching him do his thing. He is an X factor along with Cam Ward in this tournament. Everybody here knows it. And that is assuming that there won't be some kind of miraculous comeback, although some of the stuff I saw earlier this week made a lot of people go, wow. Push that aside. It's very important. Michigan State gets to play a lot of guys, get out some early jitters, get some minutes, get some legs, and be in good position health-wise for Louisville. I do think that Trey Fort is a guy that probably benefited a lot here. It's not so much that Michigan State is going to need guys 7 through 9 to push them through games here in the tournament. It's that somebody is going to be needed at some point to do something. Whether it's Adam Ballinger, whether it's Travis Walton, you go down a list. There's guys over the years that have made a difference, and they have done things that have helped Michigan State get further another round. This tournament is tougher than it was 25 years ago. We all know that who have seen it. The Louisville game is going to feel tougher for Michigan State than it looks like on paper. That's what happens when you come off of an outstanding performance. Tom Izzo knows that. His coaches know that. Some of the guys on his bench know that. Goran Suton, for example. Raymar Morgan, another one. Even TK might know that a little bit. This team is in position where they want to be. They've got to understand that it's going to be tougher against Louisville than they think it is right now. But based on what I saw today, there's a lot of really good signs. And let me say this, the edge that Carson Cooper found in the last month is an edge he needs to hold on to. And if he does, he's going to play basketball at a high level and earn some money doing it for a while. I am really impressed with the edge, the downhill action that I see out of Cooper right now.
Let's talk about it. Tom Izzo gets his 60th tournament win. Unbelievable stat. I know Tom, he's very self-deprecating. He's going to say, well, that just really means that I've stuck around a long time. But the reality is 28 straight tournaments, that's on average getting to the Sweet 16 every time. I'm going to say this, and I hope you appreciate what I'm about to say. When Duffy Daugherty was at Michigan State, a lot of people were bitching, moaning, and complaining at the end of his tenure. And I remember my dad, we were sitting with him at the hamburger joint right next to Michigan State.
Crunchies?
No, not Crunchies. I eat there all the time. Dagwood's. I can't believe it. I mean, I love that place. I literally was there the other night. It is the best hamburger place in mid-Michigan. And last time I was back in Michigan, so I guess I say the other night, Christmas time, I was there. Anyways, and my dad said fans are never going to appreciate Duffy Daugherty till he's gone because it's going to be a lot of losing. And I look at all these morons who attacked Tom Izzo, did it after the UCLA loss. There are a lot of ignorant people who have no clue what MSU basketball was like before Tom and have no idea what it's going to be like when he's gone. Is Tom Izzo's greatness overlooked because of how long he's been there?
It's overlooked because of how long he's been there, but it's not as overlooked as it was in decades past, because that's kind of the way this thing works. Absolutely, it's overlooked. I remember telling Tom Izzo that that's what was going on almost 15 years ago. He's come to accept that, but now, look, a lot of his peers have left the sport, and they left it for good reason. He kind of likes being on the top of everybody's list. I don't think he ever thought he would be in this kind of position, because when he was coming up, there was Knight, there was Katie, there was other guys, and all of a sudden he's there, and he's handling it well. And he's done some things to make his job easier. He's done some things to make his job better. It's hard to explain to young folks the schematic and organizational advantage Tom Izzo had out of his bunker of an office underneath the Breslin Center when his career was in the early years. They had an advantage in scouting, in coaching, in tape, so much that the NBA and others have all copied it. It's become the standard. Michigan State has some advantages once again. The assistant coaching situation is better than it's been. John Borovich is a huge part of that, massive part of that, and potentially could be a big part of it down the road, let's say. But no, Izzo is not going to be fully appreciated while he's still doing it. The great thing is he has positioned himself in his job at Michigan State to where he still loves doing it. He still wants to win. I talk about this all the time, and I want the kids out there to understand something. Complacency kills way more cats than curiosity. Complacency kills exponentially more cats than curiosity. Tom Izzo is not complacent at Michigan State with Michigan State basketball today. He wasn't complacent years ago. He wasn't complacent when he was on the way up, when he had the most powerful program in the sport, and they started changing some rules so Michigan State wouldn't beat everybody for too many years. That's the exciting part. He's still excited. He knows what he's got. And folks, I want to give you a piece of context. Michigan State Final Four against Duke, 1999. First half, Michigan State tight. They get behind. Second half, Michigan State outplays Duke, but they run out of time. The same exact thing pretty much happened last year against Auburn. After the game in the locker room, I talked to Lorenzo Guess, who was on that team. I said, this thing remind you a little bit of that Duke game? And he snapped right back into it. We went into some details. He talked about how similar these two games were. We all know what that launched for Michigan State basketball back then. We don't know what the Auburn loss is going to launch for Michigan State basketball this year. I would feel more confident if Jace Richardson was here or if the two transfer portals were not injured. I think Michigan State basketball relatively easily can survive the loss of Richardson, who probably should be still in college, or could have survived the two transfer portal losses if they had Richardson. Surviving both is a tall task. Izzo knows that. His staff knows that. His players need to know that. It's not going to be as easy as it was. The other thing I think they need to keep in the back of their minds, and it's just a mental thing, and it can come from some individual sports like golf, and it should apply to series for basketball and NHL series. Michigan State as a team, they need to keep in the back of their mind, they want to play their best basketball on a Monday night some weeks down the road. This is not the peak. It cannot be the peak. Is it going to look as pretty or be as easy? No. But as long as they still have in the back of their minds, we're going to continue to work on it, continue to work to get better, this team has a chance to do some serious things in this tournament and get back to a shot to take one more step than they did last year.
I'm going to make this point. Nobody talks about the two injuries right now. And if Michigan State had those two guys, I think they're the number one seed in the team to beat here. So let's give a little bit of grace. I think this has been an outstanding coaching job by Izzo. All right, listen, when the tournament's over, we are coming back with a big podcast on a subject that is sure to get Spartan Nation electrified. I had a conversation that I will not mention now, but when we're done recording, I'm going to tell you what it is, with a very famous Michigan State alum. And Spartan Nation, be ready for a podcast. We hope the season isn't over for several weeks, but when it is, we're going to have a basketball discussion that's going to get all of you talking. Keep it tuned, SpartanNation.com. Jacob Consanica's got great content coming from Buffalo. Your Michigan State Spartans with a 25-point win. Go green.
Go white.
Bye, everybody.